Hello world, what is up? Welcome to Build at Home. I'm your host Matt Forte, and I'm coming to you from my home, as is our next guest. But before we get started, we've been kicking off all our talks highlighting the work and effort of NoKidHungry.org. Millions of children are losing the healthy meals they depend on as the coronavirus closes schools nationwide. No Kid Hungry has a plan to feed them, but we need your help. So head over to NoKidHungry.org. If you happen to be someone in a position to give a little right now, consider No Kid Hungry as one of the places to give to. They're doing really important and amazing work over there. All right, on with the show. Our next guest was running his first kitchen by the ripe old age of 19. With his mountains of experience and passion for flavor, he joined McCormick and Company Incorporated in 1998, where for the better part of 2 decades, he's helped design, develop new products, recipes, and more. Please welcome to the show, McCormick's executive chef, Kevan Vetter, everybody. Kevin, how you
Hey,
doing, man?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm all right, man. I'm hanging in there. It's really nice
Yep,
to have you on. Thank you for taking some time to hang out with us and chat a little bit
sure.
today.
Appreciate
First
you
and
having me.
foremost, how are you doing? How's the family doing? How's quarantine life treating you? How's everybody holding up over there?
We're doing okay. It's definitely a change of habit for all of us. We've all been kind of hunkered down for the last couple of weeks and doing our own thing. And my wife's got projects for her work she's been tackling. I've got things that we've been doing. My son is a junior in high school, so he's kind of keeping up with school, studying for the SATs, and
For sure.
things continue on, right?
Have
Keep
you
yourself
had
busy
to?
and
Have you been enlisted as as a stay-at-home teacher? Have you been helping study for the SATs and school prep and all that fun stuff?
Well, luckily there's a lot better resources than me for studying for the ATs. You want to learn how to cook, I'll do the cooking part, and
Perfect.
other resources are better for SAT prep than I am.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's funny you bring it up. You are a bit of a cook. I've been asking everybody, what are they watching? What are they reading? But as a chef, I have to know, what have you been cooking? Are you experimenting with new recipes? Are you playing it safe? What's it like in the kitchen over there for you right now?
A little bit of both. It kind of depends on what's available. I think
Yeah,
that's been the unique thing when you walk through the grocery store. Boneless, skinless chicken breasts aren't there anymore,
yeah,
and a lot of people are cooking proteins. It's actually interesting to hover in the meat aisle and look and see what people are picking up and putting back down. Maybe offer a little bit of advice of if they look confused of how to cook a cut they've never cooked.
yeah,
How can you help out? Because boneless, skinless chicken breast, which is far and away what most people cook, they're just not there. There's
yeah.
thighs, there's legs, there's other things. So yeah, a little experimental. I got duck one day, which was always fun. Some duck breast, cooking a tri-tip. We definitely loaded up on some ground beef and ground turkey. So there's ways to keep it fancy and ways to keep it simple.
I just picked up some ground turkey myself with the full intention of when the weather turns nice here over in New York, supposed to be really warm tomorrow. We were going to do turkey burgers or something like that. Is that the go? What do you do with ground turkey? Is turkey burger a go-to? What's your
Yeah,
secret
we
over there?
we do tacos a lot. We with ground turkey. Made a lasagna last week.
Mm,
So I hadn't made a lasagna in a long time. So got some gluten-free lasagna noodles. Put that in there. Added some of our all-purpose oregano, garlic, and crushed red pepper seasoning. Layered in the ricotta. Got the last ricotta from the
sure.
grocery store. I had to bend way down and reach way in the back. But it's I think for me, I love to cook, and some days it's simple, but talking to some of my friends who don't like to cook,
Hmm.
it's been a really life-changing thing for them where they
Yeah.
relied on restaurants for carry out or meals. I have one friend who's cooking 3 meals a day now, and that's a huge change. And I could actually tell from her voice that she's enjoying it.
Yeah.
This is a whole new thing that she has to do. So yeah, I think as somebody who's cooked, since I was 16, 17 years old, watching people learn and adapt and really go on another level of a cooking journey, I think is really, really cool. And McCormick is an awesome way to help people leverage that through McCormick.com. We have a Flavor Makers app with a Flavor Makers video series that absolutely is geared towards people that have a lot of confidence in the kitchen, but maybe not the skills or the knowledge.
Right.
And we're going to help pull you along your journey, which is awesome.
Yeah, I was checking out. You guys do have a lot of amazing resources. One of the things that's happening all over the web right now, you're seeing a lot of people getting brave, making bread for the first time. And I
Yeah.
see everybody's posting pictures of their bread. Everybody's making bread. And I enjoyed you actually, it said in your bio, you started out very young. You would help in the kitchen
Right.
at an early age, making cakes and making bread. So you're an old hat when it comes to making bread.
Yeah.
You got any secrets? How do you make great bread? Is it easy?
Well,
Is it challenging? What is it?
actually, Matt, I on Wednesday I did an Instagram live from my kitchen on how to bake bread, and it was awesome. And people can't find yeast. Some people can't find flour. So what we did is we had three different recipes. We made a savory Irish soda bread. We made a beer batter bread, which is just so simple to make. And then we did cloud bread, which is just made from cream cheese, eggs, and a little bit of cream of tartar. So we really wanted to show people, because that's, we certainly track what's trending and what are people looking for. And that's been one of the top things through our website and through our social channels. We asked our consumers, what questions do you have? So in about 2 days' time, we got over 300 questions that we've been putting back on, through social channels, through Instagram, and through our website, just answering people's questions. And bread always seems to rise to the top.
Big one. Yeah,
Yeah.
You mentioned looking at the trends, and one of the things I was really excited to talk about is the flavor forecast team. You guys historically would put out the annual flavor forecast, and I think last year was probably the last annual one. You guys shifted to sort of a more ongoing, ever evolving kind of forecast. But I'm curious, because you were there at the forefront at the very beginning. How did you guys start that and track those trends in a time before people were posting and reaching out and asking all the time? How did you figure out what the trends were when they weren't there on the internet for you to look them up?
Great question, because it really was a different process, and it's always been a really collaborative affair between our culinary teams, our innovation teams, sensory, product development. And the thing that bound us all was just the love of food. So we were just the folks that, if we were traveling, if we were eating out, as we were talking to chefs, we just have a global perspective. Back in 2012, we actually switched the report to a global report. So it used to be a regional report, and then that even just brought even more resources. So really just using the feet on the ground, the passion that people have for food, the wanting to go out and dig and ask questions and discover, and being able to kind of pretty quickly determine what's going to be a fad and what's going to be a trend, because we're not about the things that are going to be here for 3 months. We want things that have longevity, because that's, as a consumer, people want to build their repertoire, and for our customers, they're looking from us insights to help build their business, which I think Flavor Forecast has been an awesome tool for both our own business as well as our customers.
For sure. And I think we're definitely in like that too soon to call territory. But as more people, tons of people are cooking at home, some for the first time, not eating out as much right now. Last year, Mexican vegan, I believe, was the forecasted trend. That's right. How do you see things sort of shifting and changing and being impacted by people exploring in their own kitchens?
Yeah, I think it is going to change. We've actually, put a brief pause on Flavor Forecast for now, but that's going to be a rich part of the conversation when we get back to it. I think that really understanding how fundamentally have consumers changed their behavior. I would love to say that we're all going to get back to the way it was, but that just may not be true. I think people will always want to cook at home, and they'll always want to go out for restaurants. But I agree. I think there's going to be a shift, and that's going to be something that we're really going to work to uncover, to see how that's going to affect restaurant business as well as cooking at home.
Yeah. You talked about how people were loading up on chicken breast. You can't find it now, so you were grabbing turkey and some various things. What are some unexpected must-haves that you always have in the pantry that you keep around? Maybe go to spices or go to things people might not think to be loading up on.
Right. So I guess for me, hot sauce is always a big one. I counted up the other day. I have 14 different hot sauces in my refrigerator. I've got Frank's Red Hot, I've got Frank's Buffalo, I've got Frank's Sweet Chili. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the Old Bay hot sauce that just went crazy. I wasn't fortunate enough to get a jar of that.
Okay.
Spicy brown mustard, sherry vinegar is one that I cook with a lot. I love the flavor of sherry vinegar. Olives, I love olives. They bring a salty, briny, if you want to throw them in a pasta sauce, if you want to make a quick spread. Some of my go-to things on the grill. I love a combination of Montreal steak seasoning and our Grill Mates Brazilian steakhouse seasoning, 50-50 of each, little olive oil, little cherry vinegar. Put it into a Ziploc bag, give it a little 5-minute massage marinade, and get right to the grill. It's no planning, no mess, no fuss, all good.
What I love about that's fascinating to me because I was going to ask you this if you were a part of the development of the Grill Mates line of seasonings that McCormick has. There's like
I think Grill Mates started before I came, but my team is
you've
involved
evolved.
in the product development. So we work with our product developers, we work with our marketing folks on coming up with creative concepts. Then they go through, the consumer is the ultimate ruler, so we get feedback from them. Then we work with our product development teams. We'll do the recipe applications that go up on the website. So absolutely, and that's a fun part of the job is bringing new products to market.
Well, that's what I was excited to ask you about because it's fun that you mentioned you have the Montreal steak seasoning, but you're also mixing that. So like even though you guys are releasing these awesome blends, that even once you get home, once you're not even at work anymore, now you're in your kitchen, you're
Yeah.
still experimenting and blending and putting things together.
See, that's the thing about people that love to grill and barbecue. I've got a right behind my shoulder there is a whole cabinet. You see the few on the counter.
Yeah,
There's another 60 up in the cabinet there,
it's
and
very
and
much
that's the
like my
thing.
counter. Yeah,
Yeah, and that's the thing with grillers is that yes, we've got great solutions, but every griller, every person that does barbecue is going to put their own little signature touch on it. I think that's I work in a test kitchen, and that's what we do. We're constantly trying new things, trying new combinations, looking for the next it flavor, and that
yeah.
comes with experimentation.
I'm going to ask you a question. This is it's very just indulge me. This is for me. This is a question
Yeah.
I need to know. I have regular paprika. I have smoked paprika. When do I go left or right? When do I use smoked versus regular? Do I blend them? What's your take on the paprika
Yeah,
crisis
yes,
I'm
yes
having?
to all of the above. It
Got it.
depends
Okay.
on so smoked paprika is one of those things that really just took off and it's become a top seller. So it's got that nice chili flavor, but it's also got this rich smoky note to it that if you're tasting something and you feel like it needs a little extra, put a little
Yep.
smoked paprika in there, and that's just going to boost the flavors. Deviled eggs with a little smoked paprika, absolutely fantastic.
Got it. You mentioned a moment ago. I'm going to go for one more selfish question. I said I'm going to make turkey burgers. You gave me like your Montreal steak blend and what you do there. If someone asks you to make a turkey burger, what are you throwing on that? How you
So
spicing that up?
I'm gonna my go-to for poultry is Grow Mates roasted garlic and herb seasoning. So it's
Got
just
it.
a great balance, rich,
Keep it simple.
robust, just really a great flavor.
Yeah. We got to wrap things up in just a couple of minutes. We're getting to the end of
Yep,
the road here. But one of the things that I also was fascinated about was the idea that you ran your first kitchen at 19, which is just
yep.
it's a huge thing to be able to say. And I'm just curious, what are your memories from that time? As a 19-year-old, one, I'm sure everybody you feel invincible, but also two, that's an overwhelming thing to have your own kitchen. What do you remember from that experience? And do you carry any of that with you to this day, all these years later?
Absolutely, it was an overwhelming experience. I mean, I started as a dishwasher and worked my way up. Prep cook, line cook,
Mm.
became a kitchen manager at 19. So was doing the ordering, the scheduling, and the menu development and things like that. And as a 19, 20-year-old guy, you see things with it a little differently. You talk to people in a little different way. I love the energy of restaurant kitchens. I was a restaurant guy for 15 years, and there's just nothing like it in the world. You take the work ethic that you learn there, you learn how to work 18, 20-hour days, and you just carry that forward. You have to get along with people, cooks, dishwashers, servers, your boss, the owners. So you learn how to be tough, but you also learn how to be compassionate, empathetic. You learn how to navigate the restaurant world. And that carries over into business. You've got to be an influencer. You've got to know when to push. You got to know when to give. And I've got the best team in the world in the McCormick kitchens. We are a creative bunch. There's so much collaboration that happens cross-functionally across the business. Through this whole thing, we've been working with our content and digital team to create real-time content to go out to our consumers. And it's really rewarding to have started as a dishwasher and to now be the executive chef at McCormick
Yeah.
and Company. I've been there for 22 years. I thought
Wow.
it was going to be a
Good for
stop
you, man.
along the way, and here I am 22 years later. And just the people you meet and get to work with are truly the pleasure. The work is awesome, but the people are even better.
That's incredible, man. 22 years, good for you, dude.
Yep.
As we're getting ready to wrap up, you talk about how you love restaurant kitchens, you come from restaurants, and it's a great time for a lot of people at home discovering cooking for themselves for the first time. But it's also a really hard time
Yep.
for a lot of restaurants and a lot of local businesses. I'm sure you got a lot of friends out there who are feeling it right now.
Yep.
How are things from your perspective? What are you hearing on your side as a chef? Like, how are people doing out there?
Yeah, it's absolutely tough. I mean, I think this is, the worst case situation for restaurants. I know a lot of them are doing the carry out. Our McCormick for Chefs is really trying to help out where we can. We've been giving away product to restaurateurs, whether it's, small samples of Frank's Red Hot or French's Mustard, or gallons of Cattleman's barbecue sauce. Then on social media, we're really pushing people to go out for takeout Tuesdays and carry out Wednesdays, and
Yeah.
and they are the lifeblood, and they're a good part of our business, and we want them to succeed, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that restaurants are doing okay, and that folks cooking at home are doing okay.
For sure. Before I let you go, Kevin, you mentioned all the social media. For people that aren't already following you, where can they find all these amazing things that you've been
Yeah,
talking
so
about?
on Instagram, it's at McCormick Spice. Facebook, we've got a couple of, we've got Growmates, we've got McCormick, and then also Twitter. So there's plenty of ways to connect with McCormick, and Instagram right now is far and away where we're putting out the most content. So if you're looking for inspiration, if you're looking for Q&A, head there, and lots of great answers for you, and some fun content as well.
Kevin, thank you so much, man, for hanging out with us. I really
Thank you,
enjoyed
Matt.
chatting with you today. I'm happy that you're healthy and you're doing well. Your family's doing all right. Good luck to your son on the SATs. Stay inside, stay safe, and thank you so much, man. Have a good one. All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Great. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it.